Hi AP, welcome back to another round of DeltaMath. We are looking at procedures, which please remember that procedure is the AP word for function, and these are just functions that are written in pseudocode. We've looked at this once before and we saw some pretty straightforward direct procedures that y'all were being asked to figure out. Today, we are looking at the same type of procedures, but sometimes when a procedure is used inside another procedure and when the calls for procedures are a little weirder, and basically it's just more jumping around in our code. So I have brought back, my friend, the sticky note. I would strongly recommend that you guys break out some paper and pens for this activity or something where you can keep track of what's happening, because all of these procedures are kind of nonsensical, and they do that on purpose. They want to make sure that you understand how code is structured and how code works, and you can read it without having the bigger context of a problem. Because often when you understand how a problem works, you intuitively know what should happen. If I asked you for a program to sum numbers, you would understand that addition had to happen. Whereas here, I don't really understand what the point of f and g is, but I can still read them for meaning, and that's what they're asking you to do. So let's actually get started by looking at f and g. From lines 1 to 4, they have defined a procedure or a function called f, and f takes in two values. It takes in c and d. And then the thing it returns is -2 times g, where they plug in d and c in kind of a flipped order to mess you up. And that's another thing they love to do, is to flip orders on you. So on lines 6 to 9, they have made this procedure called g. It takes in c and d, flippy floppy, I know it's crazy, and it returns -3 times d plus c. So this sounds like garbage right now. If we walk through it slowly, I swear to you that it's going to make sense. So the end of this program, or the only two lines of this program that are actually actively running, it's just referencing lines 1 through 9, is line 11, which makes a variable called answer. And I'm going to put that on my screen right now. Please pretend that my capitalization is correct. Y'all know how this is. It's saying that answer is equal to f, where c is -2 and d is 4 plus 5. And that's what we're going to work on breaking down right now. So I am going to be inside procedure f. So here's what's happening inside of f. In f, c is now in f. C is -2, that's what was passed up here, and D is 4. And it says that it's going to return -2 times G, DC. Oops, sorry, G, D, and C. So D is 4, I'm going to stick that in, and C is -2, I'm going to stick that in, and this is everything that's happening inside my function f. It's this line here. So before I can figure out the answer, I need to figure out this line, and then I will know what I can plug in for f up top. So I need to do -2 times g, where the first number is 4 and the second number is -2. So that means now I need to look at procedure g. So in g, c is now 4 and d is -2. And I know this is confusing, but this is coming from how these numbers were plugged in. I see that g takes c first and then d, so the number 4 being first makes it c, and the -2 being second makes it d. Then it returns -3 times d plus 3. So let's just write that in. Again, pretend my capitalization is correct. -3 times d is -2 plus 4. And if I were you guys, this is the stuff I'd be writing out on my paper, just so we're clear. So to return that, I'm just going to simplify. I'm going to follow order of operations, so I multiply first. -3 times -2 gives me +6. 6 plus 4 gives me 10. That means it's returning 10. So I'm going to slowly work my way back up. G4 -2 gives me the value of 10, so I'm just going to replace that in my work. -2 times 10 gives me -20, which means this whole function, f -24, is returning -20. So for my answer variable, I can just replace that with -20. Now it's saying answer equals -20 plus 5. I know that -20 plus 5 would be -15. That means that my answer for this problem, the thing that's being displayed, should be -15. I know that this is a whole mind blowing up, It is not super it's not a complex function. It is purposely confusing in the way that they've named variables and flipped variables around. Take your time, work it out, write it out, try and work your way through and then back out to like the highest level. I believe in you guys. I'm going to give you some a little below this and a little above this, and I truly think that you'll be able to figure it out. If you'd like to go through some of these together, we will try doing some in class, but also come to support time and we can walk through as many of these as you'd like. Good luck, guys!